In the dust-choked towns of the Old West, where the law was often just a suggestion and survival was a daily gamble, the most dangerous thing you could do wasn't draw your gun first. It was to fall in love. Today, we're rewriting back into the sunset to explore one of literature's most thrilling and heart-wrenching genres, the Wild West romance. We'll unpack why the untamed frontier was the perfect backdrop for stories of love that defied every rule. Imagine a world painted in shades of grit and gold. Life was hard, etched onto the faces of every homesteader, every miner, every soul trying to carve out a life from the unforgiving land. In this world, the line between right and wrong was as blurry as a heat haze on the horizon. Lawmen could be corrupt, and outlaws could live by a stricter code of honor than any man wearing a badge. It's this moral ambiguity that makes the Wild West such a compelling stage for romance. Into this world walks our hero, or perhaps our anti-hero, the gunslinger. He's a man defined by his past, a loner who trusts no one but his six-shooter. He might be running from the law, from a rival gang, or from the ghosts of men he's sent to an early grave. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. His heart is a fortress, built to keep everyone out. Because in his world, connection is a liability. Da-da-da. Love is a weakness that can get you killed. He's seen it happen. He lives by a simple creed. Shoot first, ask questions later, and never, ever let anyone get close. But then, she appears. She's not a damsel in distress waiting for a hero. She's the fearless woman of the frontier. She might be a rancher's daughter who can handle a rifle better than most men, a saloon owner with a sharp mind and an even sharper tongue, or a schoolteacher determined to bring civilization to a savage land. She's resilient, independent, and she's seen her own share of hardship. She understands the brutal realities of this world. But unlike the gunslinger, she hasn't let it extinguish the hope in her heart. She sees the man behind the reputation, the flicker of good beneath the hardened exterior. When these two forces of nature collide, sparks are inevitable. Their first encounters are rarely romantic. They're more likely to be standoff clashes of wit, will, and sometimes even weapons. He might see her as a complication, a beacon of light in his world of shadows that he knows he should avoid. She might see him as a danger, a walking storm she should run from. But there's an undeniable pull, an unspoken understanding between two people who recognize the survivor in each other. Their journey is a dance on the edge of a knife. The central conflict isn't just about outlaws and posses. It's an internal war. For the gunslinger, loving her means confronting his demons. It means imagining a future beyond the next gunfight, a life where he can hang up his holster for good. But can a man truly escape his past? Can he protect her from the enemies he's made? Enemies who would see her as the perfect leverage? Every moment of tenderness is shadowed by the threat of violence. For her, loving him is a leap of faith into a world of chaos. It means trusting a man whose society has branded a criminal. It means risking her safety, her reputation, and her heart on the belief that he can change, that he is worth saving. She has to decide if the promise of a passionate, all-consuming love is worth the very real danger that comes with it. Can her love be the anchor that saves him, or will his world drag her down into the darkness with him? The stakes are impossibly high. It's not just about a broken heart. It's about life and death. Every choice they make has deadly consequences. A rival gang could ride into town, a bounty hunter could track him down, or an old vendetta could come back to haunt them. The unforgiving landscape itself is an antagonist blizzards, droughts, and the sheer isolation of the frontier test their bond at every turn. This is where the theme of love versus survival becomes so powerful. In a world that demands you be selfish to survive, they must learn to be selfless for each other. They have to decide what they're willing to sacrifice. Will he give up his freedom, the only thing he's ever truly owned, to build a life with her? Will she give up her security and the quiet life she could have had for a chance at a love that feels more real than anything else? The secondary characters in these stories are just as vital. The wise old sheriff who sees the good in the gunslinger is the jealous rival who wants the heroine for himself, is the loyal friend who warns them of the dangers ahead. They all add layers of complexity and tension. They represent the two paths our characters can take, the path of conformity and safety, or the path of rebellion and true love. And the climax is always explosive, often culminating in a classic Western shootout. But the real battle isn't just fought with bullets. It's the moment the gunslinger has to choose between his old life of violence and his new hope for a future. It's the moment the heroine has to stand by her man, even when the whole world is against them. It's a test of everything they've built together. What makes these stories so enduring? It's the idea that love can bloom in the harshest of environments. It's the ultimate redemption story, where a man considered beyond saving is redeemed not by a law, but by a love that is a law unto itself. It taps into our desire to believe that everyone, no matter their past, deserves a second chance at happiness. We see this archetype in so many of our favorite stories, from classic literature to modern blockbusters. It's the appeal of the ultimate bad boy, tamed by the love of a good woman, set against a backdrop that is both terrifying and breathtakingly beautiful. The Wild West was a place of new beginnings, and what is love if not the ultimate new beginning? It was a place where you could reinvent yourself, where your past didn't have to define your future. So the next time you pick up a Wild West romance, remember you're not just reading a love story, you're reading a story about courage, sacrifice, and the defiant hope that even in the most lawless of lands, the heart can find its own law, its own justice, and its own home. It's a reminder that the greatest adventures aren't found in a saddlebag, but in the willingness to risk it all for another person. Thanks for joining me on this ride through the Wild West. If you love stories of epic romance and high-stakes adventure, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the genres that capture our imagination. Let me know your favorite Wild West romance in the comments below. Till next time, keep reading.